All right, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Life with Leek. Tonight we are not going on any trips. We're not, doing anything crazy, anything fun, not doing any events. Tonight it's just going to be a one-on-one conversation. And this is just a way that I want to start introducing you guys into Life with Leek, just through these conversations, through stories, through things that I've learned, things that I'm learning, things that have helped me grow, and, just things that are still teaching me and teaching me how to grow in my life right now. So tonight I want to talk about breaking old patterns and getting out of the comfort zone, which is perfect for this new segment because, believe it or not, this is very uncomfortable for me to just be talking straight to a camera in my room with no one in here. It just feels weird, it feels awkward, and I'm just like, what am I doing? But like I said, this is just something new I want to introduce to the channel so I can kind of just teach you guys more about, like I said, my life, and just kind of bring you through my journey and through stories and other things. So yeah, tonight we're going to talk about breaking free from old patterns and getting out of the comfort zone. So to start, here are my notes I have. The comfort of familiar destruction. We often find ourselves gravitating back to old patterns, not because they serve us, but because they're familiar. Like a well-worn path through a forest, these behavioral patterns feel safe even when they lead us nowhere. So, why do we return to old patterns? Number one, the fear of the unknown and change. Number two, immediate comfort over long-term growth. Number three, the unconscious self-sabotage. Number four, the illusion of safety and familiarity. So yeah, I definitely relate to all these points, and I want to start by saying that I don't think I really saw my patterns until I started to do like the deep work, and we're still working. But it wasn't until I started like meditating and really just like reflecting and journaling in the relationships that I was in. I didn't really know my patterns, because I think like when you're not doing the work and you're kind of just on your own, you don't really see your patterns. Your friends kind of validate you, and they don't really call you out there. I mean, you're kind of around your friends seldomly, so they're not around you maybe enough to call your patterns out, and that might not happen until like later in time when they've spent a lot of time with you. Some of you might have friends that can call your patterns out like that, or even just being in relationships. I definitely have seen my patterns come out more in my relationships as I got older. And then, like I said, when I finally decided to start doing the work, the journaling, the meditating, the prayer, just kind of spending more time with myself, the reflection, that's when I was like, yeah, we got some things to work on. So number one, why do we return to old patterns? The fear of the unknown and change. Change is scary. We all know that. Going into unknown territory is frightening. We are basically living with a computer inside our brain that's been programmed either by us or by society or by our parents or our friends, our family. And so we've had the same software running for years upon years. And when you try to break that, or when you try to change it, your mind's like, wait. We've been doing this for a long time. Why would you try to change it? Well, what do you mean you want to become a better person? What do you mean you want to give up that habit or that toxic trait? It's always worked for us. But then you look back, you're like, no, it hasn't. It's been making me spiral. It's actually been destroying my life. I just didn't recognize it because I was on this hamster wheel and it just felt normal. That's the thing that's scary too, is when toxicity feels normal. And I know for me, we all are in college and, we've all lived our lives. Maybe some of you haven't, and I can't speak for you, but I definitely lived a certain part of my life where the toxicity was normal. Growing up as a DJ, the past 12 years, going out to the bar every weekend and getting as drunk as you possibly can was normal. I remember I was talking to a girl and I was like, yeah, I blacked out last week. And she's like, I've only ever blacked out once. And I was like, really? I black out like every single weekend. And she's like, what? I was like, is that not normal? She's like, no. I was like, oh, interesting. A little embarrassing, but it's all good. So yeah, it's scary. First of all, breaking an old pattern, it causes us to be frightened because we don't know what's on the other side. We don't know. You start to ask yourself, am I good enough to change? Like, do I deserve this change? Like, can this change last? Or am I just gonna go back? Your mind just really just starts getting in this, going to all these different places, just like out of fear. And so, you try to break those patterns over and over and over, but because the change feels weird or it feels scary or the unknown is like, oh, it's just, your brain's always like, let's just go back. And you're like, yeah, like, let's just do it because it feels normal, which is not good. Number 2, immediate comfort over long-term growth. I feel like these kind of tie in to each other, immediate comfort and, just like not wanting to change. So obviously we live in a society where we have instant gratification, and it can be hard to break old patterns because what we know is always so gratifying. We know that if I go out to the bar and I get drunk, like, it's gonna make me feel good, or if I hit up this person to hook up, like, it's gonna feel great, or if I eat my feelings out with a large box of pizza or candy or whatever, it feels good. Like, that immediate gratification always feels good, and it always puts us on like this state of happiness, but then it doesn't last and it wears off. And that's something that I had to learn too. It's just like, okay, what are the things in my life that feel good instantly, but I know the next day I'm gonna be like, bro, why did I eat that whole box of pizza, or why did I drink that much, or why did I hit that person up knowing that I really don't like them that much, but like in the moment it feels good. And that's another reason why it's hard to break these patterns, because immediately they feel good. And like, when you're going through hard times and when you're going through tough situations, like, sometimes you just want to feel good. Like, you don't care, you're not even thinking about it, you're like, just right now, like, I just need to feel something. You don't want to go through that rough part or that tough stage of, whatever hump you're going over, and you're just like, nah, like, right now I just need to feel something because I'm stressed or I'm depressed or I'm anxious. So we go into that immediate comfort over that long-term growth, and it takes time. It takes time to really ignore those feelings and to be like, nah, like, I'm trying to become a better person. Like, let me not eat that much, or I'll have one drink tonight because I have fitness goals, or I have to work in the morning, or I promised myself I'd make this video, like, whatever it may be. So once we learn to love our long-term goals over our immediate satisfactions, that's when those patterns will start to, get broken, and we'll start to move forward, and that's when growth really starts to happen. And like I said, for me, like, that was a tough thing because I was one of those people, I love the immediate gratification, and I was just like, like, I'll be fine, I'll be good. And 9 times out of 10, I always regretted it. So yeah, that's always tough. But number 3, self-sabotage. Man, yeah, this one stings for sure. Breaking old patterns because you sabotage yourself. This is something I definitely struggle with. There's been plenty of times in my life where I've tried to change, and in a weird way, I didn't think I was good enough to change. And I'm like, well, you've always done this, you've always done that. Like, what makes you think that you deserve to, live a life on that side? Or what makes you think that you deserve to have the body that you want? Or what makes you think, just so many things in my head, just so many different thoughts in my head, just like me being like, man, like, I am who I am. Like, yeah, I do like to do this, and I do like, it's not that big a deal. And I would sabotage myself, and it was just, it's just self-destructing. When you have those thoughts in your head of like being like, oh, I'm not even good enough to reach the goals that I have set, or I'm not good enough to even pick up that book, or like, who do I think that I am? And like, that's the worst place to be, like, in that who do I think that I am phase. Because in our lives, whether it's your parents or your friends or your peers, people at school telling you like that same thing, like, who do you think that you are? Or, you'll never be this, you'll never be that. So like, you don't even try to change, or you don't even try to break those patterns, and you don't even try to get out of your comfort zone or your bubble because of like what you've been told years upon years. And I remember like when I first started making content, or like when I first started trying to improve my life, like picking up books or anything of that nature, like, I had certain friends that would look at me and be like, what are you doing? I'm like, reading. And they're like, why? I'm like, I don't know, I'm just trying to be a better person. And they're just like, okay. And, you know, then you kind of get in your mind, you're like, am I being weird? Am I like, I don't know, like, you know, my friends are looking at me different. Like, then you start trying to fit back in like with them. And like I said, you start self-sabotaging yourself. And even like making this content, making these videos, I'm like, who's going to listen to me? You're like, who's going to even care about this stuff? Am I even going to make sense? And I feel like I'm rambling now. But, you know, you just have to get out of that self-sabotage, because I always tell myself, you're the person that you have to live with. And so if you're the one that's sabotaging yourself every single day, like, it's never going to work. But yeah, self-sabotage, that's something that I definitely did a lot in high school, a lot in college. It really wasn't until I got a little bit older that I stopped doing it, and I started to believe in myself more, and you know, just stop listening to the opinions of so many other people, and also fixing the thoughts in my head. I'm like, okay, I have to live with me forever. So these negative thoughts, these negative opinions that I have of myself, yeah, it's gonna have to stop, because I can't, like, I just can't keep listening to these thoughts. They're just too self-destructing. They're causing me anxiety. They're causing me depression. So like, we need to fix this. So self-sabotage was definitely something that held me back and always would push me back to the old patterns. So, you know, if you're someone out there that is like, I don't think that I'm good enough to even change, no, you just have to change those soundtracks that you have in your mind, because trust me, it's tough. But once you get through it and you get past it, the feeling that you have of just breaking those old patterns, you're gonna love it. I can't even explain it. It's just so addicting. It becomes your new addiction. Number 4, the illusion of safety and familiarity. I feel like we can all relate to this one, and all these kind of tie in together also, but the illusion of safety and familiarity. Thinking I'm safe here because I know it so well. Yeah, this is one that I feel like I've seen a lot of my friends struggle with too, in like relationships and just habits, because it's such a weird concept to be like, yeah, like I know this is bad for me, but I know it though. I know it so well, so why would I get out of it? Like, I've seen so many people in relationships where, yeah, like I know they're not good for me, but what? Like, why would you stay in it? Or, yeah, like I know I should probably move, but why not? Because it feels safe and we know it. And our mind is like, yeah, we know that this is terrible and it feels shitty, but we don't know anything else. So why would we leave? Because we know how to, we know how to have bad days in this mindset, in this relationship, in this city. Like, we know how it feels and we know how to just work through it. But that's the thing, you're gonna be working through it like your whole life. And people will just stay on that hamster wheel, tiring themselves out time after time after time. But you just become comfortable in your destruction. I don't know, it's like a weird concept. And yeah, this one's tough. I mean, it's just like, I feel like it's one of those things like you just know when you see it. It's an illusion, it's fake. It feels safe, but it's not. It's really destroying you. But it just is comfortable. It's comfortable destruction. That's what we'll call it, comfortable destruction. And you know it's bad, and you know it's terrible, but it's safe because it's all you know, so you'll stay there. And it's not until you take those first steps out that are scary that you really start to see, okay, yeah, that's not good for me. I need to get out of there. That relationship's not good for me. This environment's not good for me. Yeah, I need to figure this out. It's not until you take those first couple of steps that you really start to recognize it. Until you do, you're gonna stay on that hamster wheel. You're gonna stay in that destruction. Don't stay there. It's not fun. Yeah, I don't really feel like I related any of these to me. I feel like I just kind of lectured you guys, but yeah, comfort zone, man, it's tough. Me moving to Miami was definitely getting out of my comfort zone, because living in Columbus, Ohio was safe for me. I had everything. I had all the gigs I wanted. I had all the friends I wanted. You know, I could go places and people would know me and I could get in, and, you know, sometimes I didn't have to pay for drinks. And I don't say that to be like arrogant or like braggadocious, but that creates a very comfortable situation for a person. But I had this feeling, I'm like, dude, if you stay here, and it's not just a Columbus thing, it could be any city that I lived in or that you live in, but it's like, if you stay here, like, you're gonna continue to do the same things over and over and over, and you are going to hate yourself for it. You're going to have the same emotions that you have week to week, month to month, year to year. You're not going to change, and you're not going to grow. So either you move out of this environment, you do the work, you start breaking up these patterns, or you're going to remain the same. And I think that's a question that a lot of us have to ask ourselves is, do I want to stay the same? And if you're in a good place and you feel good about where you're at, then that's great. But if you're in a place you're like, man, I don't know, I feel like I could be doing better, I feel like I could be better, then it's like, you need to take those steps and you need to figure out, okay, well, what's next for me, or where should I go, or, you know, is this a relationship that I need to cut off, whether it be platonic or romantic, and just start moving forward and understand that your brain is going to be like, hold on, where are we going? What are we doing? And you just kind of have to be like, we are in a total reprogramming situation right now, and I need you to just follow along with me. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. Sometimes you got to tell your brain, like, hey, we're no longer on autopilot right now. Like, I'm taking back over. We're flying this thing into a different place. So, yeah. I hope this made sense, because I should have probably wrote more notes down, but I told myself, just set the camera up and do it. Stop being scared. It's gonna be scary. It's change. It's unknown. You have to get out of your comfort zone. So this is me trying to do that with y'all. But yeah, get out of that comfort zone. Push yourself. Take those steps. Take a deep breath, and just do the work. Do some reflecting. What are some patterns maybe that you haven't recognized that you need to break? What are some patterns maybe that your friends have told you over and over and you just have been choosing to ignore, or your family? You know, write it down, really sit with it, really try to figure out, like, what are some things I need to change, and just start working towards it. It might not happen in a week, probably won't happen in a week, might take months, might take years, might take a lifetime. I don't know, depends on how bad and how quick you want to change. So yeah, next time I definitely need to share more about me and not be so much lecturing you guys. But thanks for tuning in. We're off to Detroit this week. Stay tuned. Life with Leek. We out.